Coming up, it's game week for high school and college football. Former Gamecock Kyron Samuels joins us to talk Jacksonville State football and more on Southern Sports Now. Welcome in on this Monday. It is August the 21st, 2023. Folks, it's here. It's game week. High school football starts this week. Jacksonville State starts this week, week 0 college. We've got a lot of football to cover today and the rest of the week as we get you ready for the season. I'm Chase Robinson, your host. Glad you're joining us today. Like the new set, we've been working on this. It's still a work in progress, but we have our new set up and ready to go. I'm sure you've noticed I've been doing the show from home, had some various backgrounds, but we are in our new set, and again, you'll see some progress. You'll see it change a little bit, but we're here on our new set and excited for this and excited for football season, folks. It is here. We got a lot of football to talk about. I mentioned Kyron Samuels. He was an All-American at Jacksonville State, played in the American Football League, writes for college football now, and so he's going to join us, talk some Jacksonville State football in this historic day coming up this weekend. He'll join us in just a little bit. We'll have another high school football team preview. We'll check in with Alabama and Auburn as they both had the scrimmages on Saturday. So we've got all that coming up here on the show today. But as always, we got to start with our countdowns to football season. Here we go. Countdown to college football. Folks, we are 5 days away from the college football season beginning. Saturday. We've been counting down all summer since June the 1st. And here we go. We're 5 days away from the college football season. This Saturday is week 0. Handful of games happening, including Jacksonville State this weekend as UTEP come to Burgess Snow Field to take on the Gamecocks. That, again, is this Saturday, 4:30 there at JSU Stadium. CBS Sports Network will nationally televise the game coming up this week. But 5 days away from the college football season. We are 3 days away from the high school football season. Again, we've been counting this down as well since June the 1st, and here we are. Thursday is the big day for high school football as several games happening on Thursday, plenty of games happening on Friday, but we are 3 days away from the high school football season, and boy, are we excited for high school football coming up. And so it's game week. A lot of games happening this week, and so let's jump to our schedule, a list of games that is happening this week. So there you see several games happening on Thursday. You've got Sacs making the trip to Ohatchee, Etowah is at Springville, and Coosa Christian at Geraldine. Those 3 games happening across East Alabama on Thursday night. Coming up Friday night, Alexandria makes the trip to Cherokee County, take on the Warriors, the defending Class 4A runner-up. You got Welborn at Anniston. That's a fun Calhoun County matchup there for the Panthers at Lawton Mosby Memorial Stadium taking on the Bulldogs. Got Weaver at Donahoe week 0. Jacksonville makes the trip up to Boaz to start the season off. There in the 8-man football, Tuscaloosa Christian comes to Jacksonville Christian, their first home game of the year this week. Also, you got Lincoln at Talladega. Childersburg is at Munford. You've got Oxford making the trip over to McAdory on Friday night. White Plains makes the trip out to Cleburne County to take on the Ranburne Bulldogs. You've got Southside at Guntersville, and Spring Garden starts the season off at Sand Rock. So those are the games across East Alabama happening this Thursday and Friday, week 0 of the high school football season. As folks, like we said, it's here. It's happening this week. It's game week. Teams are looking at their opponents, putting the finishing touches on things. Several teams had jamboree games last week and were able to get a glimpse of their team and where they're at right now heading into the 2023 season. But it's here. It's this week. It's game week. Get your game face on. Get ready for some high school football. We're going to jump to a break now. We'll come back and talk a little college football. Former Gamecock Kyron Samuels joins us coming up next. Stick around. We got more Southern Sports Now in a moment.
Here at Ted's, we are excited to now be offering custom-made cabinets. With that in mind, we're changing our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond is going to encompass everything that we offer in addition to all of your flooring needs. We've partnered with Welber Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
East Alabama Now Local News has been bringing you the best local news coverage for 6 months. And now we're growing.
EAN News will be available to you 5 nights a week with new faces, new content, and coverage that is second to none.
We'll be bringing you the weather that matters to your neighborhood and to you. Rain or shine, you'll be in the know.
Sports always brings communities together, and EAN Sports will have coverage of all of our area events.
East Alabama Now, local news, new faces, same great coverage. Starting 5 days a week, May 1st. EAN Local News, your news on your schedule.
Here at Ted's, we are excited to now be offering custom-made cabinets. With that in mind, we're changing our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond is going to encompass everything that we offer in addition to all of your flooring needs. We've partnered with Welber Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
EAN Sports is proud to bring you the best, most informative local sports content, and we want your help to be able to do that. If you have a story idea, a tip for our sportscast, or even a highlight clip you want to see on EAN Local Sports, send us an email, eansports23@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter @EAN_sports, or you can send it to the EAN News Facebook page. EAN Sports, bringing you the local sports happening in your community.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
If you see some interesting weather phenomenon in your backyard here in East Alabama, send that to us. We would love to hear from you. Send that to us at the email address you see on your screen or through Facebook at EAN News.
Here at Ted's, we are excited to now be offering custom-made cabinets. With that in mind, we're changing our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond is going to encompass everything that we offer in addition to all of your flooring needs. We've partnered with Welber Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
Hi, I'm Dr. Brodney Sneed from both CARES and Direct Primary Care. Direct Primary Care is an exciting new model of medical care growing on both the East and West Coast. It's been recommended by Forbes and the American Academy of Family Physicians and others for individuals or small businesses with or without health insurance. The pure simplicity of a membership model streamlines the burden of medical care. It eliminates 60% of the overhead. That streamlining allows providers time to focus on patients with free, no copay, no deductible, unhurried office visits or telehealth visits with minimal waiting room time. It produces same or next day appointments and access by text or telephone during and after hours. It saves you from leaving work, wasting time and getting exposed in a waiting room, and the convenience and cost with barriers removed helps one avoid letting problems like a sore throat turn into an expensive ER or hospital visit for pneumonia. If you're interested, search the web for CARES Direct Primary Care.
We are back here on Southern Sports Now. Here on this Monday, we told you at the top of the show, it's game week, not only for high school football, but Jacksonville State hits the field this Saturday in what will be a historic day as the Gamecocks' first FBS game, first Conference USA game. And we're going to talk about the Gamecocks now as we welcome on a former Gamecock, Kyron Samuels, now covering college football with DefiantTakesFootball.com. But Kyron, really appreciate your time today. How are you?
I'm doing well. Happy to be here and talk about a little Gamecock football.
I know, and coming from someone who's been in the program there at Jacksonville State, what's it like seeing your alma mater now having a chance to compete at really the highest level of college football?
It's very exciting. I'm of the mind that we should have made this move a couple years ago. I really thought that we were ready for it a couple years ago, but things work out perfectly. Timing is everything, and I think this is a great time for us to move up to FBS action because I think the team is ready. You add the extra scholarships onto the guys that Coach Rod has already brought in, and I think the team is ready to compete at a high level year one.
And there's always going to be some growing pains when you make a move up from any level to the next. But you mentioned it, Rich Rod, the level of experience that he's bringing from really some of the top programs in college football that he now brings to Jacksonville State. I mean, you got to be impressed with kind of the hands that Jacksonville State is in as they make this monumental move with a guy like Rich Rod leading the program.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's all about mentality. He knows what it takes, and more than anything on the field, right, it's about top-down approach. He knows how to run a staff. He knows how to recruit. He knows how to get the best out of those guys. So when you have a guy like that at the helm, it's going to make the transition a little bit easier. Like you said, there's always going to be growing pains, but having a guy that's been through it before, that knows how to operate, knows how to run a program from top to bottom at that level, it's definitely going to make it easier.
You mentioned you've played for Jacksonville State. You were on some very good teams in your time at Jacksonville State. You mentioned you could have seen this happening earlier. What is it you've played there? Like what is it about Jacksonville State? We're in a state of Alabama with really good football, really from top to bottom when it comes to college football. What makes Jacksonville State special to you?
You hear it everywhere you go, right? But it's the family, it's the community, it's the atmosphere that you have when you come to a school like this. Like you said, there is the Alabamas and the Auburns and now even the UABs and the South Alabamas. But this area specifically, it's halfway between Atlanta and Birmingham. There's not a lot right here in this area. So that's what makes it special. The Gamecock community, the Gamecock family, for this entire region, 45 minutes in either direction, this is all that matters to them, and they show up and they have their support every week. We've been averaging over 20,000 fans per week at home games for the last 10 years. It's amazing when you really think about the competition being in the South and let alone the state of Alabama itself. So the community, the people make it what it is.
Jacksonville State has Zion Webb coming back at quarterback for his seventh season. You don't see that a lot, but a guy coming back to lead this team for his seventh year. You got a guy like Logan Smothers who transferred from Nebraska. So you got a quarterback who has been in big situations like Zion Webb, and so I think that's going to help also in the transition, having guys who've played under Rich Rod, but having a leader like Zion Webb kind of to help lead the offense.
Yeah, absolutely. When you have a guy that has experience, and everybody talks about a quarterback, they have to be able to throw the football, they have to be able to process and read and all that. But he has something that you can't teach, that natural athletic ability as well. So when stuff breaks down, so when it gets heated out there, and then the bullets are flying, and you see the defenses out there, you're going to see a lot more talent. He has an ability to extend plays, to make broken plays into positive gains, and that's going to help the Gamecocks going forward. Getting those easy chunk plays is something that he's a specialist at, and I think it's really going to assist them when they're making this transition, because keeping the chains moving, keeping your defense off the field and healthy, because the depth is still an issue. We're still building towards that depth of FBS schools. So I think Zion Webb's skill set is the most important thing for him and the team, and I think it's going to carry them a long way.
And you mentioned, there's going to be you're not just going to immediately go up and be good. There's going to be some growing pains. It's going to take leadership on this team. But you've been a college football player, at high levels at Jacksonville State and then in the AFL. What's the mindset got to be like for these players, knowing going out there that you're playing against teams that could be bigger, faster, stronger? They've been in the FBS longer. What is the mindset of these players? What should it be as they head into this first year in the FBS and Conference USA?
It's funny you mentioned that. I think that it's quite the opposite. They're bigger, stronger, faster, but you still believe that you're better. I think this is a team going back even to when I was playing there, even the 2013 team that went into Ole Miss and beat Ole Miss. We had the luxury of going to play at Auburn, at LSU. We took Auburn to overtime. Then we just beat Florida State in the past. I think it was 2021. So the belief is already there for a team and a program like Jacksonville State. So the expectation is they think that they should have been at these schools. Coming up like a guy like me, I was a high 3-star recruit, had a bunch of offers, and went to junior college where I had some injuries, and it worked out for me. I felt like I could have played at an SEC level. I think there's a lot of guys on the team that believe that they are that caliber of player. Jacksonville State is just a place where they get to show that. And I think another thing that is huge is that when you believe in your work, the work that you put in, it makes it that much easier to go out there on the field and prove it. I know there's not going to be a team in better shape than the Jacksonville State Gamecocks this year, because I know how hard those guys work, and what the strength staff and what Coach Rod and the way he coaches and the tempo that they play with, they're going to be in better shape than everybody else, which I think is going to go a long way for them, because, like you said, we don't have the depth, but if you're in better shape than everybody, you can wear them down in that fourth quarter still.
Yeah, very true. We're talking Jacksonville State football with Kyron Samuels, former Jacksonville State Gamecock, and you mentioned some of those games. Of course, the Ole Miss win, but I vividly remember the game there at Auburn. You were talking about taking them to overtime, the win over Florida State, and have a chance to play South Carolina up in Columbia, a tough place to play this year. And it's always great to see Jacksonville State get these opportunities to play the bigger schools, to play the SEC schools, and it seems like Jacksonville State always keeps themselves in those games, which is fun as well.
Right. Like I said, it goes back to that belief, man. These kids believe that they're supposed to be on those stages, and when they get the opportunity, they don't let it go to waste. So I really do think that the bigger the stage, the better these guys are going to play, and it's the belief system, man. Like you've seen guys come before you do it. You already believe that you're on that caliber, you're on that level of player, and the coaches. I mean, we have a coach that has been there as well, so you can't understate the value of that. A coach that has been on the biggest of stages and led nationally ranked teams into Power 6 bowls, and it's something that we're going to be able to lean on throughout the season. And I'm really excited about that because, like you said, the stage is set for us, and I think we're going to do some special things with it.
And, the kind of the ever-changing landscape of college football with the conference realignment and everything. When you look at Jacksonville State's move to Conference USA and move to FBS, I don't think it could have come at a better time, just with everything else happening and the way college football is shifting. You want to be at the highest level, and I think Jacksonville State got up to the FBS just at the right time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I mentioned it in the piece that I wrote. I released this morning. The Liberties of the world, the Coastal Carolinas of the world, the James Madisons of the world. With the way that the playoff is realigning next year, those teams, if it was under that structure, they may have squeaked into a playoff the last couple of years. And those are teams that we were competitive with. We beat some of those teams at the FCS level. So if we can make a similar transition in 3 to 5 years time, we could be talking about a Jacksonville State team, as crazy as it sounds, maybe contending for a playoff spot in the top 25 in all of college football. So it's really interesting when you talk about the realignment and where we're going with college football, and then the expanded playoff field and what that's going to mean to the G5 teams.
Yeah, very true. Kyron Samuels joining us, former Gamecock, but writes about college football now. So, Kyron, tell us a little about what you do and what you do covering college football.
Awesome. So I actually co-own a website. It's called Define Takes Football. So I'm writing there, and I'm doing, I'll do some NFL stuff as well. I do a lot of film breakdowns and mostly leaning into draft stuff and offensive line content, NFL-wise. But my heart's always been in college football. So I love college football. I love Jacksonville State. I love, Southern football, SEC football. So I do tend to lean into football, college football a little bit more. So general content, national stuff. We're credentialed a little bit of everywhere. So I'll be moving around this fall. And then when we get to the spring as well, I'll be doing a lot of draft stuff and hitting spring campuses for spring football. So I'm blessed to be in this position and really happy about being able to cover all of football because that's where my heart is.
Yeah, absolutely. Fun stuff. Kyron Samuels, former Jacksonville State Gamecock, now with DefiantTakesFootball.com. Kyron, really appreciate you taking a few minutes with you, talking today about some Gamecocks football, and we'll have to do it again real soon, but appreciate your time today.
No problem, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Kyron Samuels joining us here on Southern Sports Now. We'll jump to a break. More of the show on the other side. We'll talk some high school football next. Stick around.
Here at Ted's, we are excited to now be offering custom-made cabinets. With that in mind, we're changing our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond is going to encompass everything that we offer in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
EAN Sports is proud to bring you the best, most informative local sports content, and we want your help to be able to do that. If you have a story idea, a tip for our sportscast, or even a highlight clip you want to see on EAN Local Sports, send us an email, eansports23@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter @EAN_sports, or you can send it to the EAN News Facebook page. EAN Sports, bringing you the local sports happening in your community.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
If you see some interesting weather phenomenon in your backyard here in East Alabama, send that to us. We would love to hear from you. Send that to us at the email address you see on your screen or through Facebook at EAN News.
We're back here on Southern Sports Now, here on the East Alabama Now YouTube channel and the East Alabama Now Facebook page. Subscribe, like, share it with your friends. Let's spread the word about Southern Sports Now as we get ready to dive headfirst into football season coming up this week. We'll have great content for you every day here on Southern Sports Now. Want to talk a little Alabama and Auburn now. We'll have another high school football team preview coming up in just a few minutes, but second scrimmage for Alabama and for Auburn this past weekend. And again, you don't get we talk a lot of Jacksonville State. We have practice footage and we're there. At bigger schools like Alabama and Auburn, they're not open to the media, so you really don't get a glimpse into what's going on with these teams. You just kind of have to rely on what the coaches are talking about. Both head coaches spoke after the scrimmages on Saturday. We'll start with Alabama and Nick Saban. And something that he really hit on last week following their scrimmage was he really wasn't pleased with where the wide receivers were at that point of fall camp. And so he did speak Saturday afternoon kind of about the progression and how he's seen the wide receiver group get better there for the Crimson Tide.
I think our receivers have really improved. I think they've played faster. They're playing with more confidence. I think we've had less drops. But obviously the goal is you never want to have any drops. And we're going to continue to work on that. But I think they've made improvement. I think we made improvement in the passing game. I think we're more consistent, in what we're doing, and I think we're more confident. So I think that's helpful to the quarterbacks as well as the confidence of the receivers.
I think everybody is wondering who the quarterback at Alabama is going to be. Is it going to be Jalen Milroe? Is it going to be Ty Simpson? Or is it going to be Tyler Buckner, who transferred in from Notre Dame? Well, Nick Saban was asked that, obviously, and he gave a very concise answer on the quarterback situation.
They all got to play. They all took snaps. They all completed some passes. They all made some throws that weren't as good as they should have been. And they all got sacked. That's what I saw.
I think all three of those guys could have a role as a starter. I think all three of them have positives. All three of them have weaknesses. I don't think we're going to know who the starting quarterback is until they come trotting out on the field against Middle Tennessee State. I mean, I don't think he's going to tell us really ahead of time who that quarterback is going to be, and I don't think we'll really know who the definitive starter for the season until into the season. You know, we may see all three of them against Texas. I mean, honestly, it's going to be hard to tell where they're going with this, who end up being the starting quarterback role, who will get that job. It's going to be a process, and so and it's going to be an interesting process to follow as we move forward. But certainly excited to see who ends up being at quarterback. Now, the other team here in the state of Alabama, the Auburn Tigers, do have a starting quarterback. Peyton Thorne was named the starter on Thursday, which is kind of a bizarre situation in and of itself, as Hugh Freeze was not at all happy that news was out. According to Coach Freeze, only 4 people, including himself, knew that Peyton Thorne was named the starting quarterback, which makes me think that it was Hugh Freeze and the 3 quarterbacks. And then the news was released by the media. And so someone said something that they weren't supposed to, and Hugh Freeze really wasn't happy about it. But he did discuss at his media availability following the scrimmage about Robbie Ashford. And I thought this was interesting. Robbie Ashford, he says, has had the best practices he's had all fall, the last 3 practices, which is how many have been after Peyton Thorne has been named the starter. And so Robbie Ashford's playing good. He's not out yet. Somebody asked that in our mailbag on Friday. Robbie Ashford is not at all out of the job yet. I think he can compete for it. I think he will compete for it. Apparently he's gotten a lot better, and Hugh Freeze likes where Robbie Ashford is at. Peyton Thorne may be the starter for game 1, but that doesn't mean we're not going to see Robbie Ashford, and apparently he's been practicing really good.
I think the game dictates a lot of that, and obviously when we start watching film on the opponent, what we think is our best chance to win. I've said it from the get-go, Robbie, if he handles things the right way, he has to get on that field some. He's different. And he's probably had his best 3 practices, the last 3 practices. And so I'm really proud of him, and he's going to push Peyton. If he keeps continuing to play like this, Peyton's going to have to play really well.
Still figuring out the quarterback situation there in Auburn. But one thing Coach was really not happy about this past weekend was the fact that they weren't very energetic there inside Jordan-Hare Stadium. They've been practicing on the practice field for the scrimmages. They've come into Jordan-Hare Stadium, and he's not seeing the energy that's there that he wants to see. You know, he says maybe there's just nobody in here, and it's been a while since he's been at a big stadium like that, but he doesn't see all the energy that he's expecting to see out of his Auburn Tigers.
But the 2 trips we've made in the stadium, we've, in my eyes, and maybe it's just the size of the stadium, but we seem flat. And practices this week were really, really good. Y'all got to see one, and I thought the energy was good, and I didn't sense that same energy. And, boy, that's got to – and maybe it changes when the stadium's full. I don't know. But, boy, when we get a chance to go in that stadium and play, there's got to be some juice. And, again, maybe it's been a while since I've been in a stadium that size, and I'm making – but that's what kind of was on my mind. And secondly,
so Auburn prepping for UMass coming up September the 2nd. They'll turn their attention now to game prep over the next couple of weeks as they get ready for the opener. And that really goes for Alabama and Auburn both. You kind of look at fall camp. They've got their development kind of out of the way. Now they're going to turn their attention towards game prep for the 2023 season. We'll try to bring you as much as we can, again, on Alabama and Auburn. Kind of have to rely on press conferences, but both head coaches speaking on Saturday following those scrimmages. We'll jump to a break here, come back, have a high school football team preview on the other side. Stick around.
Here at Ted's, we are excited to now be offering custom-made cabinets. With that in mind, we're changing our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond is going to encompass everything that we offer in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welber Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
Hi, I'm Dr. Brodney Sneed from both CARES and Direct Primary Care. Direct Primary Care is an exciting new model of medical care growing on both the East and West Coast. It's been recommended by Forbes and the American Academy of Family Physicians and others for individuals or small businesses with or without health insurance. The pure simplicity of a membership model streamlines the burden of medical care. It eliminates 60% of the overhead. That streamlining allows providers time to focus on patients with free, no copay, no deductible, unhurried office visits or telehealth visits with minimal waiting room time. It produces same or next day appointments and access by text or telephone during and after hours. That saves you from leaving work, wasting time and getting exposed in a waiting room. And the convenience and cost with barriers removed helps one avoid letting problems like a sore throat turn into an expensive ER or hospital visit for pneumonia. If you're interested, search the web for CARES Direct Primary Care.
Back here on Southern Sports Now. Hope you're having a great Monday as we start this game week. One of those teams that are competing this week, they will be on the road at McAdoy Friday, is the Oxford Yellow Jackets, and that is today's team preview. And so we're going to talk a little Oxford Yellow Jackets football now as Coach Sam Adams head into year number 3. To Oxford fans, it was a disappointing season last year. 5-6, they finished 4th in the region, lost first round. A lot of guys coming back, though. But when you look at the roster over the last couple of years, especially last year and this season that some Oxford fans were disappointed in, a lot of injuries and a lot of young guys. But there's a lot of third-year starters on the team this year. As Coach told us at Calhoun County Media today, it's kind of a theme of all the third-year starters that are back this year and ready to lead the team.
We got 15 total returning starters.
Okay.
So there'll be a lot more experience out there. I still wouldn't say that we're a senior-heavy team. We've got 19 seniors, which is a good number.
Yeah.
But I'd like for that number to be up a little bit higher.
Yeah.
But I think the experience that our guys have had in the previous years, hopefully will pay off for us in these weeks to come.
Yeah. Oxford plays in that tough Class 6A region, and you mentioned the third-year starters coming back. But when you look at kind of this team overall, they competed really well in the summer, won a 7-on-7. Finished in the semifinals there at UAB. And they've got a quarterback, Mason Mims. It's a name you should remember this season going into this 2023 season. He's got several offers, Mississippi State, Troy, UAB. He's really good and played really good in the Jamboree last Thursday night at Fort Payne. He's a guy to keep an eye out on, and very good quarterback there for the Oxford Yellow Jackets.
Had a phenomenal offseason from a physical standpoint. He's about 20 pounds heavier than he was last year in a good way. Strength has shot through the roof. His velocity on his throws has increased greatly. That's just going along with the physical strength gains. Naturally you're going to be able to throw the ball a little harder. He's continued to get better and better on just going through the progressions and understanding, where the ball should go, and I think that's really his biggest strong point is just being able to distribute the ball to the place and the guy who it's supposed to go to, and to not get caught with the ball in his hands very often.
Let's take a look at the Oxford Yellow Jackets schedule here for 2023. They will start things off Friday night on the road at McAdory, taking on the Yellow Jackets. September the 1st, they will have their first home game as they take on Huntsville there at Lamar Field. September the 8th, they go on the road to begin region play at Shades Valley. They'll come back home on September the 15th, take on Huffman. A couple of road games. September 22nd, they will travel to Pinson Valley. September 29th, they will travel to Hartselle. October the 6th, they will come back home and host Pell City. They'll be open on the 13th. They will host Clay Chalkville on October the 20th. And we'll have their final region game October 27th as they host Center Point. And they will finish the season, Week 10, the regular season, at Jacksonville on November the 3rd. Good Calhoun County matchup there between the Yellow Jackets and the Jacksonville Golden Eagles. But their non-region is McAdory, Huntsville, and Jacksonville. And, of course, their region game, Shade Valley, Huffman, Pinson Valley, Clay Chalkville, and Center Point. Failed to mention Hartselle there in that non-region. So non-region, McAdory, Huntsville, Hartselle, and Jacksonville. But a tough schedule there for the Oxford Yellow Jackets. But I know Coach Sam Adams and company ready for this 2023 season. We're just a few days away from high school football. Coming up on the show tomorrow, we're going to be out at Jacksonville State. We'll have Rich Rod's full press conference. It's game week, and so we'll be there at Jacksonville State talking to some guests, getting you ready for the big Jacksonville State UTEP game this week. So make plans to join us right here on the East Alabama Now Facebook page and YouTube channel coming up tomorrow from Jacksonville State. Hope you have a great rest of your Monday. We'll talk to you tomorrow with more Southern Sports Now.